So I just want to show you guys how the Bigme 251 Color Eink Monitor performance is on the latest firmware. Now this monitor came with the firmware already on it since I bought it used. I will have a link in the description, to the latest firmware so you guys can manually do it. I'll probably make also a video on how to do that, if anyone's kind of curious about how that process goes. So this is the monitor here. It looks very clear. I didn't really know what to expect when I ordered it, but this looks really good. I mean, it's really fast, and the cursor movement's really fast too. And it's just really good. Now, I know the Dasong Revolution monitors, those are really fast too, and this is honestly pretty similar. I had a Revo once, but I didn't really like it because there was a lot of motion blur when scrolling. For example, this is my trackpad when I scroll, and it kind of does it too, like the Dasong, but it doesn't do it as bad. I find it to scroll a lot better with, I'm using a USB trackball mouse with a scroll wheel. So instead of scrolling in, I guess smoothly, it's scrolling in steps. And this is page down, page up, and it looks, really good. I honestly think this is pretty comfortable. This does have voice commands, so you could change the modes, you could refresh, and whatever else you could do with the voice commands. I got to look at the other commands. So I'll go ahead and switch it. Text mode. You could see that it changed. You could see the color change. So this one isn't as fast, but I mean, it looks pretty similar to me. And scrolling is just fine to me still. I'll change it into another one. Web mode. Web mode. It might already be in web mode. I think it might be similar. And I could verify that. Yeah, it looks like it went into web mode. Web mode's actually a little bit faster, and it does look similar. So, yeah. There's also image mode. You can see it's changed over. Now, you could see that it's a lot slower. Like the cursor, I wouldn't say this is usable, as a cursor. I think for reading documents, this is fine. This is obviously a higher quality mode. Yeah, I mean, I think that looks fine scrolling. It's just, if you're looking at pictures or videos, it's going to be really flashy, on anything moving. So, video mode. Video mode. Oh, I might have switched. I didn't notice. So, yeah, video mode is really fast. And, by the way, on this video, you might see like a grid or lines in the screen because the camera is picking up the color filter. With my own eyes, I can't hardly notice that at all. So it just looks worse in the camera. The camera could pick it up. I think they call it like a moire effect or something like that. But anyways, I'll go over to the video here. And, this isn't like LCD or OLED quality at all. But I mean, for e-ink, I think this is just fine. I mean, this looks really good. I'll just show you really quick. Image mode. I mean, that looks a lot better. But I'm not going to play it in image mode because it gets too flickery and I have sensitive eyes. Video mode. So I'll go ahead and play it. Refresh. I'll just swipe it real quick. And I think that looks fine. I mean, it's not, like I said, it's not like a normal screen with the quality, but I mean, for e-ink, this is definitely really good. And there's not a bunch of flickering like you may have see on, I guess, like Dasong monitors, like their black and white stuff. If you were to look at videos, there'd be this like weird flickering across the screen, and there's like this triangular pattern that kind of flickers too, which I think it's just all due to the dithering algorithm that, Dasong is using. So Bigme's definitely has it. Well, I guess the dithering looks a lot different on the Bigme, but it's less flickery, which is what I prefer. So I think this is, really good. I'm going to pause it here. And I just want to, show you because they include a remote here. So you can change your refresh modes here. You can change the contrast. You can make things dark. You can make it lighter. Whichever you prefer. Now the bottom one is like a detail thing, which I think it does. It's more for like image mode. Oh, looks like it heard me. Video mode. Oh, I think I clicked it on my remote. So I'll leave it in video mode. Refresh. I'm sitting kind of far away from the monitor just for the video, so I have to lean in for it to hear me. So you could also change the front light. You could make the cool light, you could turn it off, just have warm only, or you could have the warm light, which you can see there. You could have it mixed, which is how I have it. And you could also just make it warm and, like I said, just turn off the cool light if you just want it more like amber looking. And then the rest of the settings, you can turn off the front light. You got your volume control. You got mute. You can change your input, which I have it on auto, and I have it connected using a USB Type-C Thunderbolt cable. And by the way, this does have to be plugged into the wall, the monitor. So it's not like the older, smaller E-Ink monitors where they can be powered off USB only. Now, oops. I think that might have been all of the setting. Oh, and then also really quick, you could turn off the voice commands if you don't want to use them or if you find them annoying. There are buttons on the side of the monitor on the right, so you don't have to use voice, you don't have to use a remote if you don't want to. I personally like the remote and the voice, so, that's what I use. But I think that pretty much wraps it up. The only other thing I do want to mention is that I did optimize Windows 11 for E-Ink. So basically what I did was, well, there's a bunch of other settings I did too, but the main one was enabling high contrast mode and also adjusting the colors of a high contrast mode. So I used the preset Windows 11 high contrast mode. It's called, I believe, Desert. And the white color in Desert is like a white with a little bit of orange. So for example, like white on a web page or whatever, or like anything in the settings that's using white, it'll take that high contrast color, but it'll have a bunch of grain or like red orange dots all over, and it just looks terrible on E-Ink. Well, Color Eink at least. So basically I just edited the colors. I set the white to pure white, and then any other colors I just set to the flat pure color without it mixing other gradients or whatever into that color. So yeah, it works very well. I could also make another video later, if you guys want, on how to optimize Windows for E-Ink, just to make it as best as you can, because I did, tweak it a lot. So yeah, just let me know in the comments if that's something you guys want. And I also have a link to this monitor, in the description, and I'll have an affiliate link. I just want to support the channel, with buying stuff and reviewing it or whatever. So yeah. And this monitor, I will say I got it used on Amazon. I think it was only like $950 or $960, but when I received it, which was a couple days ago, it was like brand new, and it's significantly cheaper, like almost, I think, half cheaper than new price. I think new price is like $1,700 or something like that. This was like $950, like I said. So, if you guys see used, it's definitely worth to try out. But yeah, I hope this kind of helped you guys. Don't like think this monitor is bad just from all the bad reviews, from a while back, because this monitor is very nice, after the firmware update. And I guess what I like about Bigme is that they're not like Dasong or other companies where they just keep pumping out products, like they improve a product, they make a new product. Well, with Bigme, it seems like they make the monitor, but then they'll just keep improving the firmware. So it's like, I have the Dasong Revo speeds, it seems like, without having to buy a Bigme Revo. Not that it exists, but, just doing a firmware update unlocks that. So I think that's really good. So anyways, I'll see you guys on the next video. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop it in the comments. Thank you.